Let me adjust that. Yeah, okay. Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm going to ask, in fact, if you're new to the channel, man, please, by all means, hit that subscribe button. In addition to that, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. The channel is growing. My subscribers is growing. The power of versatility, man. I'm being real diverse in the things that I'm talking about. Despite what individuals may think, I am real I know how to diversify my topics. People, I want to talk about acknowledgement. I want to talk about acknowledgement, and I want to talk about the power of acknowledgement. What do I mean when I say I want to talk about the power of acknowledgement? I want to talk about acknowledgement because acknowledgement is yesterday I talked about lies, the great equalizer. Now I want to talk about acknowledgement. And the reason why I want to talk about acknowledgement is because once acknowledgement is acknowledged, healing begins. Once is acknowledged, healing begins. People, I'm going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to talk about the Black community, self, and just overall attitude. All right. First, I'm going to talk about community. People, the Black community has an issue. And the Black community have an issue because we choose not to acknowledge our issues. And I think one of the biggest reasons as to why the Black community have this problem is due to the fact that once we acknowledge our issue, it will actually further divide us. I do. I think that if we think about that, I think that if in the Black community, if we acknowledge our issues, it will divide us. Why would acknowledging issues divide us as a people? It's a good question. The reason why acknowledgement will divide us as a people is it will cause us to have to be, number one, truthful with ourselves. And when you're truthful with yourself, teaching begins. And a lot of individuals are dealing with people that they shouldn't be dealing with. And instead of teaching individuals how to be better and teaching individuals how to better themselves, it seems to be more comforting, I guess, to roll with what's going on. Be about the BS, and the BS becomes the norm. So we choose not to acknowledge. We don't want to acknowledge because it will be torn apart. So think about this. We don't want to acknowledge our issues because it'll tear us apart. What do I mean by that? And I'm going to tell you that I don't see this in men like I see it in women. And that is individuals being friends with people that are not in their class. If you decide that you, if you decide that you want to acknowledge our issues, then, your girlfriend that's on her third kid with the fifth guy she met in 4 years, you now gotta start being truthful with that individual. If you start acknowledging individuals that even know people that are doing wrong. I'm made fun of on a regular by my friends that I'm too hard on friends. And it's the one reason why I have a lack there of friends. So here's what I mean when I say that. I have been told that I'm hard on my friends. I have been told that my friends can't come with me to their issues because I am not going to sit down there and coddle them. I don't coddle. Yeah, okay. I don't coddle. So I don't coddle. I am too truthful. Think about that. And the reason why this is because of what I'm talking about here today. Acknowledge. You see, when you acknowledge something, you have to be an adult about it. And when you acknowledge something, that means you're going to have to say, either I can't do this, I can do that, this is wrong, that's right, whatever, all right? Can you imagine every time someone you know comes to you with an issue, you tell them the truth and that turns them away? And the reason for that is they're in denial. They don't want to acknowledge. In the community you guys call black, acknowledgement is a lack of acknowledgement rather, is a safe place. It's a safe place. If I don't acknowledge it, I don't have to deal with it. It's a safe place. And it's a shame to say that. It's a safe place. So acknowledgement is one of the reasons why I don't have a relationship with my family. Atia LaShawn Bradley, my child's mom, that I had bared a child with, that I fathered a child, I don't know what title to give it, sperm donor, whatever it's called nowadays. I am not acknowledged as worth. You know, individuals, once I told this woman that acknowledged that she had a problem with being physically abusive towards me, and normally with physical abuse, it's never a one-off. Verbal and mental comes with it, and that's what, you know, it's not surprising to me no more. I got to start acknowledging that I understand women now. And women, once it's been said that a woman did it, acknowledgement of wrong will not ever be established. But Atia LaShawn Bradley has chosen, well, when we was in the hospital, when she put me in the hospital, she acknowledged the fact that she had an issue. I already said that. And then once she got around her female constituents, it was flipped under the context of I should accept her as how she is. And this sentiment, it seems to be an echo. That's all I'm gonna say, because I'm talking about acknowledgement. All right. So acknowledgement is the destruction. In the black community, there are individuals that think snitches get stitches. We choose to honor a hoodlum, and we want to act as if we can't acknowledge the fact that this mentality is creating a safe haven for criminals. That's what this is doing. Snitches get stitches means we're protecting a criminal. That's what that means. This jiggy / cool perspective of a ride or die, I'll get back to that. But the grandest reason as to why we are in the place that we are in concerning the community you guys call black, and I appreciate those thumbs up, y'all, is we choose not to acknowledge the issues that exist in the black community. That's what we choose. We choose not to acknowledge those issues. Once you acknowledge those issues, you start coming up with resolution. And then when it's done, it's not accepted no more, because now you're in the resolution phase. And you're like, whoa, this is not accepted. I'm gonna now shift this thing and talk about attitude. Acknowledgement. How is this a cancer concerning attitudes? A lot of you out there that listen to me are in relationships or have been in a relationship. And you've been in a relationship with somebody that choose not to acknowledge their flaws. I made a comment in my video I did the other day, and I said, I will give a person that got strung out on drugs a pass. I'll give that person a pass. Any other reason as to why someone now I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna stick with this attitude. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm trying to be a little bit more conservative. People, let me go left for a second. As my channel grows, I'm learning, because I'm gonna take this thing back to the Blog Talk Radio Network. I'm gonna have call-ins. I got with my advertisement people today, and we're gonna get some advertisement made up for the Christmas show. That's what I'm gonna take to the Blog Talk Radio Network. And I am actually going to use a lot of my material on here and a lot of my other platforms. Gonna use a lot of my material. You know, one of the things that Howard Stern did as a person that was on radio for 40 years, Howard Stern used a lot of his content to create, or should I say repeat content, to monetize. If you look at Dave Ramsey, I do the same thing Dave Ramsey do. When I'm in the studio, I record segments of my show and I upload them as individual pieces of a video, because sometimes some of the individual things that I said, maybe somebody don't want to go through the entire video or listen to the entire show to grasp the concept of what I'm talking about. So I do what Dave Ramsey do. And I got probably about 130 to 160 short videos that is going to be released only once my channel get monetized. And I'm learning how to do that. So once my channel get monetized, and that's what that's my goal. People, I'm not trying to figure things out no more in my life. I realize now that you can say something for 5 minutes and people will take one piece of that and listen to, I forgot what that's called. That's actually called something. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's when you only take one piece of something. I can't remember the name of what it's called, because that's what individuals do. It is something that exists. And I can't remember what it's called right now. But anyway, I realize now that I can talk for 5 minutes and people will only pay attention to one thing that I say. I get it. I'm the hated one. Individuals will casually say something to me not knowing it's very disrespectful. And there was a scene in the Avengers Endgame, and Thanos spoke about that. And when Thanos' daughter came to him and said, "Father, they didn't expect a thing." And what did the evil Thanos say? The arrogant never do. The arrogant never do. So, and most of the times when people are delivering some information to you based on animosity, you'll let them say something and then you'll say one thing to catch them in their lie that they're saying. And it's like, oh, that's what happens when you talk from animosity. They think they can hide it. They can't. They think they can hide it. And they get real arrogant. You can only deliver animosity and arrogance. You can only claim somebody is you're bending and doing that. You can only deliver that in animosity. Now back to attitude. Acknowledgement, when you're dealing with somebody, in attitude is a relationship killer. It's a relationship killer. It is. If you want to be with someone that don't want to acknowledge, you can't be with that person. Everyone that's in an AA meeting, everyone that's in Alcohol Anonymous, everyone that's in a rehab, went there after the word acknowledgement was known and realized. Once an individual acknowledged, then the healing. You know, acknowledge is something that a person won't come up to you. Atia Bradley called me up one day, and this is how I ended up paying for school for her daughter. Atia LaShawn Bradley called me up, and she did this after we was going down for child support. I put in for it. And Atia LaShawn Bradley hit me off with the suckery fuckery. Yeah, she hit me off with the suckery fuckery. And she acknowledged how difficult it was, and she acknowledged, my worth. She acknowledged my worth. She acknowledged it. It wasn't until we went down there, I canceled the court date because I was filing for child support based on the time that I had with my daughter. I'm sorry. Her daughter. I don't want no women to look at me and be like, oh, that's her daughter. Oh, you ain't nothing. Oh, yeah, I know. And guess what? All the women agree with you. Okay, I want to be clear. Atia LaShawn Bradley acknowledged my worth. She acknowledged it. This is why If I can go left for a second, people, this is why I tell you, everybody know how they are. If you tell somebody how they are, they know that already. They know it. They know it. And I'm going to say something. Nobody like me exists. And that is somebody that's going to tell you something without no malice and no evil intent. And I say nobody like me exists because you can't find nobody. I'm bragging on myself. Yeah. You can't find nobody that's been through all I've been through and not one curse word was delivered. How about that? Not one. Not one. I did not deliver not one curse word. Not one. You know why? Because Great don't have to. It doesn't have to. I acknowledged, and I don't get acknowledged, but Atila Sean Bradley acknowledged that. She did. She did. People, I want to talk about health. I'm going to talk about health. I'm going to put a bow on this thing. Once again, appreciate you guys for listening, man. People, I truly believe that my videos help. I truly believe that my videos are educational, spiritually uplifting. Some people wouldn't think so. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. But I want to talk about acknowledging when it comes to health. Acknowledgement when it comes to health. There's a saying taught to me by a friend, James Lewis. And James always said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I want to talk to y'all because the teacher is here. People, I'm not in the healthiest shape. I'm not in the healthiest shape. But I speak and I know health and I understand health. So here's what I'm going to say when it comes to health. When I speak to somebody about health, they're either going to acknowledge it or they're going to acknowledge it, but they're going to rebuttal it. The amazing thing about when I speak, my jaw always drops when I tell somebody something and they come back and try to enlighten me on a different perspective or the downside to what I say. It's amazing. It's amazing. I am floored. Instead of just acknowledging that they don't want to work out, instead of acknowledging the fact that they are not like me and it's nothing bad, people, I don't try to force my way on anybody. I've dated women that was 5'10" with rolls everywhere. I've never said anything to them about working out. And when I talk health, I get rebutted. People, there's no downside to nothing I ever say. And I'm saying that because when people say what is the downside, when I talk about health to acknowledge, they edit the rebuttal. It's edited. It's edited. And I acknowledge, because once again, I just stated earlier, it's arrogant But arrogant, when a person speaks in arrogance, it comes from that animosity account. I'll give you an example of what it is I'm talking about. Yeah, classic example. Go up to any woman and ask her, how many breast cancer stamps have you seen? And how many heart cancer ribbons have she ever seen? I'm gonna tell you now, when you look at the NFL, they wear breast cancer awareness. They don't wear heart disease awareness. But when you talk to a woman, she would say, that's right, it's all about breast cancer. Oh, on the contrary, unacknowledged and common sense one. Let me say that again. Oh, on the contrary, unacknowledged, non-having common sense one. I didn't say non-having common sense one. Heart disease is bigger than breast cancer 3-to-1. But the health concern is only want to acknowledge that we want to talk about titties because the visual image that it will now give the woman after she have it, if she got to get her breast removed, etc. But women, I have seen breast cancer awareness march, breast cancer ribbons, breast cancer. I don't see no heart disease at all. And it kills women 3-to-1. Now, I did do shows about this and I talked about this, and I had a couple of ignorants do what they do. And only to never, and you know what, when they do the research and find out I'm right, they never come back. Let me give you an example. Dude I used to roll out with. Dude is 5'7". We used to work out in the military. Got out of the military, I moved down here to Virginia. He didn't want to acknowledge healthy. He didn't want to acknowledge. Here's an individual that told me, for years, you only live once. Like I said, people, we all know it rains. But if somebody say, wow, it's a nice, clear, sunny day, get away from the idiot that says, yeah, but it's gonna rain next week. We know that it's not it's not sunny all the time. That is a given. But if somebody can come to you and now rebuttal something that you said to them that was good, and then ponder on it because they want to prove you wrong, because a lot of people got animosity accounts on me, and then tell you the bad side of it, and then tell you they researched it, but leave out the key information. Here's an individual that for years, hey man, you only live once. Got married in 2019, came to me in January of 2020. Hey man, I gotta start working out with you, man. My dick don't work. Made a mockery of health. Here's an individual that chose and has choose not to acknowledge health. When I used to roll with him, he ate out every day at all-you-can-eat buffets at that. I remember me and him, we stopped at a truck stop, y'all, and I can literally taste the chemicals in the lettuce. I mean, this lettuce had to have, what people don't understand is lettuce is more water than it is a soluble. Did I say that right? And I'm like, well, gee whiz, I can literally taste all I can taste all the chemicals in the lettuce. Didn't want to acknowledge health. Then he comes to me. Appreciate those thumbs up, y'all. Come on, man. Stop fucking with me. Stop being fucking with me here. And then he comes to me and say, hey, man, I got to please my wife. It don't work. Acknowledgement. Acknowledgement. When individuals choose to tap dance around that word, the kickback is cataclysmic. I want nothing to do with it. Hey, you guys have a good day, y'all. Tell a friend. Later.